episode of Know Your Priest. My name is Anne Maria Thompson, and I have with me my co-hosts, Jonathan and Jonathan.
Hello everyone, I am Jonathan Machado.
And I'm Jonathan DeCosta. Today we're joined by one of our beloved priests at the Sacred Heart Church of Bahrain. This priest was ordained in 1996 and has been in Bahrain since 2014. Any guess on who it might be? Well, it's the one and only Father Amar. Hello, Father.
Hello, Father.
Hello, Father.
Hello, children. How are you?
Father Amar is the spiritual director of a few communities: the Legion of Mary, Queen of Peace, the English Charismatic, the Tamil community, and the Bengali community. He is also the vicar of the house. Welcome to the interview, Father.
Thank you.
How are you today, Father?
I'm fine by God's grace. So far, so good. And how are you doing all?
I'm doing well.
Can't complain.
Good.
All right, Father. I'm going to take off the first segment, but before I do, Father, last year you celebrated your Silver Jubilee of your priestly ordination. And yes, everyone, that means 25 years of being a priest. Congratulations, Father.
Thank you very much.
So, Father, in addition to being the spiritual director of the ministries that Jonathan mentioned earlier, you also visit the fishermen communities in Sitra and Muharraq and say Mass for them. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, Father Amma, we are sure that you have great love for your ministry and your mission. So, that leads me to my first question. What aspect of your ministry are you more passionate about and why?
So when you talk about the priestly ministry, it is not the fixed ministry that we do. It actually, according to the need of the time. So when we say in Bahrain, especially people come for prayer and blessings. So we have to be available for the people to say and bless them and make them feel at home. And here, especially for me, the Holy Eucharist that I celebrate for the people outside the Sacred Church. As you said, I go to Sitra and Muharraq. And also I was going to Jah. All these three places, the fishermen communities were staying there. So they every day at night they go for fishing. Early morning they come back and they give their fish to the Asians and they go and take rest. Again afternoon they go for fishing. Whole night they stay in the sea. The morning come back. That's a routine life for them. So once in a month they make a time. So I go to their place. There's a small hall like where they stay. So we celebrate Holy Eucharist and be with them, share some food with them and make their faith stronger. Because when they go to the sea, they can see nothing but only water. All around them, they cannot see the seashore. Mm-hmm. So God is their only strength.
Right.
Any storm, anything, only they're depending on the providence of God. Okay. It is very, very important for them to make their faith strong and also keep their faith alive. Mm-hmm. And you know, for us, the Holy Eucharist is the base for our life. So when we go and celebrate Mass with them, and they are really very, very prayerful, they all sing and they feel that really they are having some communion with the Lord.
Now, my next question. Where was the first place that you were posted?
Immediately after becoming priest, I was posted in India in one of the village parish called it is the name of the church, Redeemer's Church.
My church, okay.
Yeah, but I worked there only for a few months. So first year was my just kind of getting a taste of priesthood, you know. Yes. So I was going every Friday to visit the sick people and distributing communion for them. and anointing like that. Then every day we had a mass and people used to come. And being a newly ordained priest, I used to prepare a lot and share with the people whatever the Lord reveals. That way I enjoyed the first priestly ministry there in the parish.
All right. How many years were you there for in Zimbabwe, Father?
So in Zimbabwe, it is from 1997 to 2014. So altogether, 17 years I stayed in Zimbabwe.
Oh, wow.
And first I was posted in town parish. I was one of the associated priests. Here we call spiritual director, isn't it? So assistant parish priest. Then I was transferred after 3 years to one of the rural mission. I was in the formation to train the local Zimbabwe brothers to study for the priesthood. All the 17 years, I was a vocation promoter.
Wow. That's a lot of events that happened between 17 years. And a small part of this question I just asked you, the youth in Zimbabwe, was there any difference between the youth in Zimbabwe and the youth you met here in Bahrain, or was it similar?
See, when we say youth in Zimbabwe, there is difference between the youth in the parishes, that is town parishes, and the youth in rural areas.
Mm-hmm.
See, in parish, they have access to everything like electricity, going to school by car, okay? They have every access to everything, internet, everything.
Okay.
But children in the rural area, for the schooling, they have to walk 15 kilometers or 10 kilometers. The school starts 7 a.m. To reach the school, they may start walking from 4 a.m.
Oh my God.
Or 5 a.m. They have to get up like 3 a.m. to get ready. So they come to school. The school is actually only half a day, like 1 p.m. they finish. Then they have to walk back home another 2 to 3 hours. So by the time they reach, it is evening. So that way, the youth in the rural area is very, very, then we say little unprivileged. So what I actually did, I started a bush boarding, which means we had a church. It was a small chapel, like. So they used to come, the youth, they stay there in the chapel, and they had their own cook. Among them, they prepare food and they eat, sleep over there. And by the way, when we say the rural missions, we don't have electricity, okay? So we were using candles or a paraffin lamp. Then I also had solar lights. So I was providing free solar light for them so that they can study. So that way, we were encouraging them to get in touch with the normal life. Then I also had some vocations from there. Once they finish their A level, they call it grade 1 to grade 7.
Yes.
Then they start Form 1 to Form 4. When they finish Form 4, then I take them to Capuchin life. Now we have more than 20 Zimbabwe youth in the Capuchin order in Zimbabwe.
Oh, wow.
So most of the Zimbabwe Capuchin are the local born. So 17 years of vocation promoter work bear fruit, I think.
That's all the questions from my side. Is there any other question from Anne or Jonathan?
I still have one question left. What has been your favorite memory during your time here in Bahrain?
In Bahrain?
Yes.
Everybody know what is the favorite memory. Family day. People coming together. See, as soon as I said family day, everybody started to smile. That's one of the very, very special day we have in Bahrain every year, that every community participating in this family day, something we have no words to say, you know. We express our culture, then food that we share, and the programs that we participate, especially the draw that we have. People come and they have a lucky draw, so many games. So we are missing that. And we pray, certainly it will all change one day. We start a normal life.
Alright, so now we move on to the fun part of the interview. The answers from now on have to be quick and crisp. Ready, Father?
Let me try.
Okay then. Rapid fire questions first. Father Amar, I will read you a sentence and you have to complete it with your answers. My favorite book of the Bible is?
Genesis, especially
And
the
what?
creation story.
And why?
I always wonder how God created the world, and still the image, the people, though we were created in the image of God, we did not preserve that holiness. We lost it. But God was so patient until today, and He promised the Messiah. The Messiah came, and He also gave His life, and still we have the same struggle to be united with the Lord. So I always admire the creation story, and I also have that the patience of the Lord to wait until that we are ready.
An event that made me blessed to be a priest, that made me feel blessed to be a priest.
It is a real blessing, because the moment I desired to become a priest, I was waiting when I finished my 12th standard. And within this vocation, to become a Capuchin is one of the great blessings, because we never live alone. We live as a family, brotherhood, we live together. So that way, we are different from the clerics, the diocesan priests. Sometimes they live alone. It's very, very challenging. But as a Capuchins, even like Bahrain, we are more than 8 people, and including one at Awali, we are altogether 9. So 8 priests and 1 brother. That way it calls for living together. So it is a real great blessing.
So now we have some blazing fun questions. Have you ever? By Anne. Take it away, Anne.
So, Father, let's move on with the have you ever questions.
Okay.
Have you ever concelebrated Holy Mass with the Pope?
Of course, yes. When Pope came to Abu Dhabi, remember?
Yeah.
That was a great, great joy, and never thought of that we could have this very precious opportunity. So when Pope came to Abu Dhabi, all the priests from Bahrain, we went and we had a chance to celebrate the Holy Eucharist. And I have got a beautiful video clip when the Pope was coming in before Mass, visiting the people. We were all dressed for Mass and we were at the altar standing. So I had a chance to make a video with the Pope. It was a great experience of celebrating Mass with the Pope.
I know that it would be a memory worth a lifetime. That's how precious that memory will be. So the next question is a bit funny questions. So have you ever eaten 5 masala dosas at one time?
Very difficult. At the most, I eaten 2. 1 masala dosa and 1 plain dosa maybe.
Yeah, even me too. At the most 2. More than that, no, it's not possible.
Not possible. The stomach is too small,
Before we do close off, I have one last question for you.
Yeah.
What advice would you give the youth of today?
Today's youth are very much involved in these online classes these days, isn't it? Cell phone or computer. So we need, as I said, the digital world is so powerful. Easily you can be misled. First advice, listen to your parents, because they have a great hope in you. The whole world is, you are the one. So your growth and your happiness is their happiness. So when you give your total self to their words, when you listen to them and do what they ask, you can be such a blessing to your parents. The second advice, as I said already, be prayerful. There's a lot of time given to us. Start your day with a prayer and close your day with a prayer. Open the day with the key of prayer and close the day with the key of prayer, so that you are in a safe hand. These are the two, my humble advice for the youth today.
Thank you so much, Father, for your words of advice. Really appreciate it. But Father, it's been wonderful talking to you. Thank you very much for spending your valuable time with us, for sharing your honest answers and giving us all the wise words. We really appreciate it, Father. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Thank you very much. God bless you. I'll keep you in my prayers.
Same here, Father. Thank you so much.
Thank you, viewers, for watching this video. We'll see you in the next episode sometime soon. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe our channel.
If you want to watch any more for content, links are in the description. So bye for now. And bye, Father.
Bye, Father. Have a nice day
God
ahead.
bless
Father, have a
you.
nice day.
Bye, viewers.
Bye.
Bye.